surrounded in threes. Very important. That's when you think of your DNA. That's why you have 33 spirals around it. Okay. This is the math that builds the world you're in. Okay. So they knew, and the reason why there's a right angle, because this energy, okay, the singularity energy, cannot escape these right angles. It contains it, so they've encased it in right angles. Okay. And I want to show you a different view. Okay. This is the view of it from the top. Okay. This is side view. Okay. 52.5 coming from the ground up, because you got to think about the Earth's frequency, the number 9 coming up, okay, and then also from the sun coming down. And what happens when the sun hits the top of the pyramid, okay, it creates positive and negative, okay, because light has poles, 2 poles. So electromagnetism comes down, hits the pyramid, divides it into positive and negatives, has the frequency coming from the Earth, which is also coming up divided. These poles meet, create this singularity energy. And this singularity energy they were using in Egypt to heal themselves, live forever, time travel. Time travel you could do, because the reason being is we are water. Okay, we're water creatures. Water is consciousness, and water changes forms, okay, based on frequency. So they knew that by taking frequency, okay, and then getting in an open sarcophagus, okay, in the king's chambers, that by the way also was its measurements equal 3s, okay, they vibrated that sarcophagus, which was made out of certain type stone that also vibrated frequency, and that consciousness could be could leave and be travel more freely, if you will. Okay. So this is the pyramids. I just wanted to show you that example. Very important. Okay. Another example that I want to show you. Is the 4 planets, okay? The 4 planets with rings. And if you're paying attention, you'll start to see the similarities between all these different things. What I want you to do is do some research and go pull up Tibetan mandalas, and you'll notice the 4 corners, and you'll notice 8 points all the way around. Very important. Okay, it took me a long time. These are 5,000-6,000 year old things, and I've deciphered them. I'm not patting myself on the shoulder. I'm just saying it took me a long time to do. And once you realize what they're saying, it's amazing. Okay. So what we have, let me try to think about the other way that I want to do this. Let's do the 4 corners, okay? 4 watchers, okay? 4 watchers. You can go look into the book of Enoch, okay? Talks about the watchers, the fallen, the 4 elements, okay? The 4 planets with rings, okay? They just found a planet recently, about 400 light years away, with rings, and it's, just now, like within a couple months here, and we have 4 of them in our solar system. So. No coincidences, guys. Okay, these all have rings. Okay, and the Earth, during the Star of David formation, okay, which won't happen for 100 years, and the reason being is we are getting ready to go into the 4th dimension, which I will explain a little bit later. And the position of the center position, which Earth falls into, okay, Earth is always in the center of one of these, okay, it won't be Earth anymore, it'll be Mars, okay? And this has direct relationship to what happened at 9/11 in the memorial, which is a hypercube. They have 2 hypercubes at the base, and we'll explain why. So Saturn, okay, when the Earth is lined up, Gaia, Earth, she's water, okay. When she's lined up, okay, the North Pole of Saturn, which has a hexagon on the North Pole, it's a cymatic frequency that's coming up. If you're not familiar with cymatics, this is what they look like. Here's some sand that's on a plate, frequencies vibrating into the plate, and that's the pattern that it makes. These are some more patterns. These are all basically prints, tattoos of different dimensions, because every frequency is a different dimension, okay? I call it the Word of God. Okay, this is, the scientists have discovered that frequencies are bubbles, and when these bubbles rise to the top, these forms you see, that's the top. Here's some other ones. Here's a girl singing, some sand on a plate, frequency of her voice is going through it, okay? So they can manipulate the Earth, encapsulate the Earth, change its frequency if they bombard it, okay, with a third frequency, okay? Okay, so when the sun, the moon is always in a position that it ricochets back frequency, okay, at nighttime. The sun shines in the moon at night, of course, we see the moon. It's giving an electromagnetism mixed with other frequencies that hit us at nighttime. As well, we're being hit in the day. And so the sun, what I'm showing you here is reincarnation as well, okay? Because when we're born, we have clockwise, remember the 3 6s, okay, 2 9s and a 6? We have a clockwise electromagnetism, okay, that comes from the sun and hits our north side of our planet, okay, here's the north side. And when it comes down in a clockwise formation, the frequency of the Earth, like I just showed you in the pyramids, comes up and meets it, and in between there, okay, in between our DNA, is we are captured, okay? Here's our DNA. You had a clockwise and counterclockwise ribbon, okay, around your DNA. It's a very important little point right here. So it captures us, okay? And that's fine. That was the natural way that things happened here, okay? We were born, the sun, and the frequency of Gaia, and it formed and created us. Excuse me. What is foreign is the natural flow, magnetic north through magnetic south, excuse me, the way that everything flows through the universe has been disrupted, okay? This is the same thing I've shown you in the pyramids, okay? It's the same thing I showed you with 33 and 33 coming together, longitude and latitude, creating a singularity, okay? This is the same process, but on a planetary level, okay? Same things happen as big as we can go to as small as we can go. And this is what they're trying to do with CERN project. They're trying to crack this code, if you will. They call it the secret key in quantum computing. It's the same thing, okay? Because what happens is, if you're not familiar with the double slit experiment, you need to check it out. It's when they shoot a particle or a wave through slits, okay? And they do different things. Basically, when there's a third person looking at it, it always changes on them. They can never see the actual transmission from A to B. When the third person looks at that transmission that's going on between A and B, it changes. So it encrypts itself, okay? It's the secret key. The same thing's going on here, and they're trying to break it down. Okay, so the sun's frequency, what happens now when we regularly would die, okay, our consciousness, or if you want to call it spirit, consciousness would leave and go this natural way, magnetic north to magnetic south. So whatever planet, okay, was south to north, Earth's south pole to whatever planet was north, that would be the natural flow. But what they've done is created a kind of a ricochet effect where the electromagnetism of the sun hits the rings of these planets, okay? Two frequencies coming together, positive and negative, okay? Because the Saturn, any planet that's north is negative, okay? It's pulling. It's regularly pulling, okay? Because when you put two magnets together, okay, north and the north, you have friction. Positive and south and north pole, they stick together, okay? Same way the planets work, okay? Same way everything works. So what they've done here is the regular flow, when we die, would be to go out whatever planet is the north side, right? Our south to its north. So they've ricocheted the sun off their rings, okay? These rings are highly conductive, okay? These rings are not, these are made by highly intelligent individuals, okay? And this ricochets back and creates a third frequency. So you have a third frequency coming back in all directions, okay? Binding the planet, binding us in our flesh, okay? Binding everything, okay? And this is a very important part to realize, because it's the same thing that they were doing in the pyramids. It's the same identical math. You can do the frequencies yourself. Go get all the frequencies of the planets and do the numerology, okay? And then combine them. Combine the frequency of the sun with each one of them, and you'll see what's coming back to Earth, okay? So, this is no longer, okay? This is not happening for 100 years. And so my question was, why? Well, like I said, Mars is taking the center position, okay, where Earth is. And the way I can show you that is another drawing, okay, of this particular configuration. And how this has to do with 9/11 is, when you think about the four corners, they call them the watchers, the watchtowers, okay? In 9/11, if you think about 9, 3 times 3 is 9, so you have your 33. 11, if you do the numerology, is 2. 2 towers, okay, the watchtowers. 2 planes, 2 frequencies that create what? 2 frequencies, 33 and 33 come together to create what? 33.3, a third. How many people died at the tower, 3,000 originally. Of course, they fudge those numbers as they do everything, because they do not want to leave any tracks in the snow, okay? And then what they left as a memorial were 2 hypercubes. A hypercube, okay, is a representation of the 4th dimension, okay? The third planet from the sun is the Earth. What do you think the 4th is? Mars, 4D, okay? So you see we're starting to get ready to shift to Mars, the red planet, okay? And I'll show you what's going on. To be honest with you, what we should be trying to do is blowing up these rings so that they disrupt this binding that's occurring. And this binding, like I said, this binding happened on Mount Hermon on the 33rd. In the Bible, it's where Satan came down and he created his binding. It's where Jesus also had his transfiguration, where he turned into a singularity, okay, same spot. The reason why you always find the devil and God together is because positive and negative are always together, okay? Positive and negative are always chasing each other, snake biting its tail, okay? Okay, so what we have here is, I'm going to do the configuration one more time. the best I can. I don't always do this perfect, but the drawing. Okay, a little weird top, but anyway. You have Earth in the middle, okay? You have Saturn, okay? You have Neptune, the ringed planets. You have Jupiter, okay? Uranus, the Moon, Mars, I think this is Venus. Let me make sure. I think this is Venus and then Pluto. I might have those backwards. If I do, I'm sorry. Okay? This is the Star of David configuration that won't happen for 100 years. And the reason why is this is also a representation of the 9/11 memorials, okay, the hypercubes. How is that, you ask? Because you have the four corners, the four elements, okay? And this is a representation of a cube, okay? And if you go out, okay, and go from here to here, and then across, here to here, you'll start to see it's a cube within a cube. Okay? My drawing isn't perfect, but you can do the lines and figure out what I'm talking about. It's a cube within a cube, a hypercube. Now, if you go on YouTube and pull up hypercube, and you see this particular graphics where it shows the hypercube going inside and out, you'll start to notice and start to understand this point, okay, because it takes 8 points. Okay, 8 planets with 8 frequencies. Okay, well, excuse me, 7 planets that create an eighth planet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did I screw that up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7, because the moon isn't a planet. The moon's hollow, guys. You can do some research on that. Look up Armstrong, I think, astronaut, and when they wrecked a satellite into the moon, it reverberated back for like an hour. Okay, it's what they call the bell. The bell. Hitler had his bell, the SS bell. Okay, that technology, same technology, guys. Tesla, same technology. Okay, they all got blue auras around the tops of these things. Well, it's because they're creating that singularity energy. Okay. And that singularity energy is what has allowed these people to progress so much, and they've kept us in the dark. They've made us into the dummies. It's real cool of them. Okay, so this 8 points, these 8 frequencies, they create infinity. Okay, number 8. Okay, 8 points. Before that, you would have 4 points, which creates fusion. Okay, it's 4 points. 4 points with 33 latitude and longitude lines come together, positive and negative, creating 4 singularities, which creates fusion. It goes 2, 4, 8. Okay. When you go to 16, of course, you do numerology. 6 plus 1 is 7. Nothing's happened. Hence, God rested on the 7th day. Okay. And what's 6? Okay, 3 plus 3. Okay. So, I want you to look at the demonstration of a hypercube on YouTube, and you'll see how a hypercube formation goes inside and out. So that's how this planet, Mars, is going to be in this singularity position. So the Earth is getting ready to shift into a different position, okay? No longer is the sun's electromagnetism coming down on us, okay? Light and electromagnetism are 2 different things, okay? Electromagnetism is now shifted. The poles shifted on the sun completely. So what we have in this particular situation, okay, here's the sun, okay, now We used to have the south pole here facing our north pole, okay? Now this is the north